So, over the years that I've had this channel, a lot of you guys have been asking me, Anna, how do you stay productive? How do you stay so motivated? What is your secret? And to that, I've always said, none of your business. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a matter of gatekeeping. Honestly, it's a matter of the fact that I am hyper productive in a way that is not very healthy and that I'm not proud of. And I say I want to change, but I don't really ever take action on. But putting that aside, in the past few months, I've actually been doing something a little bit different with my productivity, which is ever since I really started focusing on my business, I've started a new method of actually being productive related to my business goals. And so that's what I'm going to show you today. For the longest time, I would do this method on just like pen and paper on a blank notebook of mine. And I got so tired of writing the same thing over and over, which is actually what led to the creation of my first journaling workbook, A Season of Life. And I said, why not, just like make my own productivity planner that I myself can buy and use, which just saves me time and energy. And also you guys can use it too if it's helpful for you. So I came up with Get It Done, a quarterly productivity planner. It's not going to have this not for resale. This is just because it's an author spoof. So it's a quarterly planner, like it sounds like, specifically directed at people who have like one overarching goal that they want to achieve in maybe like the next 3 months or so. Initially, I was just going to do it for 1 quarter, but then I was like, very thin, and I was like, I wouldn't feel good if people buy this and it's such a thin little planner. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna throw all 4 quarters of the year into one document. And so this actually contains 4 quarters worth. This contains a year's worth of quarterly planning documents. So if you want to purchase it, it is now available. I will put a link to it in the pinned comment. And if you don't have access to purchase this because of Amazon shipping where you're located or just not having the funds, I'm going to tell you what's in it right now, because honestly, like I said, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because this is a method I use and I wanted an easier way of implementing it. So I'm not gatekeeping this one. I'm going to tell you exactly what's in it. So it starts out with a little bit of an introduction about the different techniques in this planner and how the quarterly method works. So the reason I chose a quarterly method is because, like I said, I'm a very hyper-productive person and I like to see things in the long term, but not too long term. So I thought, why would I make just one-time New Year's resolutions when I can also make quarterly resolutions that hopefully, when they add up quarter after quarter after quarter, end up to even more than just like an annual goal. We start off with a little bit of a discussion of why and how to set goals, specifically SMART goals, helping you figure out what sort of goal should you set, making sure that it's values aligned, making sure that you stay in touch with why is this a goal that I want to have? And so then I break it down between goals I can control and big picture goals I hope to achieve, but ultimately are outside of my control. So for instance, a goal that I can't control might be, say, like post 2 YouTube videos this week. A goal I can't control, but I hope to achieve is make sure they get a certain number of views. It's good to have like big picture things you're working towards, but it's also important to distinguish between the ones that you can actually control and the ones that are outside of your control, so that you don't get too disappointed if the stuff that you're hoping for just doesn't pan out, and just keep focusing on the stuff that you can actually change. And then it asks you, why do you want these things? Again, really getting in touch with the values that you're tapping into. If you just say like, oh, I want to get fit. Why? Why do you want to get fit? Well, I want to live a long time so that I can spend more quality time with loved ones. Okay, now we're talking. You're tapping into the value of connection and how much you value that and how you want to have as much connection as possible. You see how just saying, oh, I want to be fit, it's very different from saying, I want long-term connection with people. I want to experience as much of it as possible. Then we look at what are some important dates and deadlines coming up. I prompt you to think about, like, for the next 3 months of this quarter, if you could like assign a word to each month, what would that word be? Like maybe month 1, the word is grinding. Month 2, the word is abundance. Then you also anticipate what rewards you're going to give yourself when you achieve those goals. So you want to have weekly rewards, monthly rewards, and quarterly rewards. The weekly rewards are for small little wins, like checking everything off your to-do list, and they're therefore going to be smaller rewards, like making yourself your favorite meal at home. The monthly rewards are more for like mid-tier progress. So they're a little bit bigger, maybe like going on a day trip on a weekend or getting your nails professionally done. And then the quarterly rewards obviously are the biggest ones. They're for the biggest goals that you've hopefully achieved. And so those are going to be things like take a week off of work altogether, or go on vacation, or anything else that's like pretty big of a reward. Then I prompt you to visualize success in your mind's eye as vividly as possible, using all 5 senses, envisioning how good, how proud you're going to feel when you achieve this goal, and also how you're going to reward yourself when you achieve it. The reason for this is that it really helps you train your mind already in those neural pathways. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something it's imagining and something real that it's experiencing. That's why a lot of athletes, for instance, before actually giving, the really big shot, they imagine themselves doing it first, because it's already like a little bit of a trainer ball. If you train your mind to think about how it's going to feel when you achieve the things you want to achieve, you're actually going to be more likely to implement those things. It sounds woo-woo, but it is scientifically based, and in my opinion, it absolutely works. And then we get into the simple stuff, which is week by week, you jot down your to-do list for the whole week, the goals that you want to hit. So for instance, in your to-do list, you might put record this video, edit this, write content, write fiction, see clients. Whereas the goals to hit could be, for instance, see 10 clients this week, post 2 videos to YouTube, stuff like that. And then on the right side, you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These are smaller because most people don't work weekends. There is some space if you do work weekends, but otherwise you can just put like self-care and other to-do lists on here. So you're breaking down all the weekly stuff from your to-do list every day. So you do Monday, you cross some of the stuff off your to-do list Monday, then Tuesday you come back and you think about, okay, what are the next things from my to-do list that I'm going to cross off today? So you do that for 4 weeks, and then at the end of that month, you have a monthly check-in where you assess what's been working, what hasn't been working. Are you on track for your quarterly goals? Do you need to adjust your goals? And what is the monthly reward that you've given yourself? How did it feel? Things like that. It's important to check in with yourself about what's been working and what hasn't been working, because Albert Einstein said that the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different consequence. I completely agree with that sentiment. Not in the sense that like it's insanity to do that, but just in the sense that it's futile to do something like that, to continue to do the same thing over and over again when it's clear that it's not working for you. It's actually been very helpful to my business to think about what are the things that are helpful and what are the things that really don't seem to be worth my energy, and putting aside those things and focusing more on the big ticket items. And it's also important to check in with whether you're on track for your quarterly goals, because if you're like way falling behind your goal, you're probably going to be very disappointed if at the end of the quarter you're way lower than you need to be. So maybe you want to work harder the next month, or maybe it's so out of reach, your goal, that you actually need to modify it a little bit to make it a little bit more achievable. Alternatively, maybe your goal is way too easy and you're already hitting out of the ballpark, in which case bump up the goal. So you do that for another 2 months, where you do the to-do list and then the monthly check-ins. And then at the end of those 12 weeks, you have the end of a quarter. Did you achieve your goals? What were the obstacles that arose? How can you try to surmount them next quarter? What were the big ticket items that brought the most success? The tasks that brought the least amount of success? How you're going to do more of the big ticket ones and less of the ones that are futile? Are there ways that you could be more efficient? What's your big quarterly reward? What did you learn this past quarter that you'll be taking moving forward? And where are you now in your life versus 12 weeks ago? That's 1 quarter, and then you repeat that 4 times, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and then you have it. You have an entire year's worth of quarterly productivity planning. Like I said, link will be in a pinned comment and in the description box. Check it out if this is something you would find helpful. I think it would be particularly good for entrepreneurs, small business owners, but also for anyone who, like I said, has a big goal that they want to work towards in an increment that's like a little far away, but not that far away, where they can hold themselves accountable day after day after day. Happy productivity. See you soon.